Hey everybody, welcome back to Vanland. We have just finished a new build. It's fresh out of the shop, so we thought we would give you guys a tour. So if you're a family that is looking for a van that has multiple seats and also multiple places to sleep in the van for the whole family, then this is a perfect setup. Let's go ahead and give you guys a tour. Here are the basics of this van. It is built with an Adventure Wagon interior kit, and then we put in a smart floor with 4 captain's chairs in the back, so this van is going to seat up to 6 people. And then in the back we have the Lost Highway fender boxes that also turn into a bed and a seating area. So within this 170 van, we've got seating for 6, sleeping for 4 to 6, kind of depending on how big everyone is. A full water system, power system, a new sound system, which is really cool, and a bunch of exterior accessories that make this really one of the coolest 170 vans that we have ever done. So let's start with the smart floor. And these are extremely popular these days because you're able to get more seating and comfortable seating at that in the back of the van. So it starts with a full floor installation. All of the factory stuff comes out. A new floor is put in that has these tracks in it, obviously, which the seats mount into. And the smart floor is one of the only floors for Sprinter on the market that's actually pull tested and rated for safety in the US in terms of having passengers in the back of a Sprinter van. So if you're not getting the OEM bench seat, there really aren't a ton of options for adding seats in the back that are actually legal and safe if you're taking passengers around. This is one of those floor systems and seating systems. So this floor system gives you the ability to place the seats anywhere along the tracks. You can also remove them quite easily, so you have a configurable van and one that is flexible for a lot of different scenarios. The seats themselves easily unlatch and can be moved forward in the tracks or backwards or simply taken out. These are pretty easy seats to move in and out of the van. If you need to have a quick change of configuration, then you can pull these out of the garage, put them in quickly, and know that they are safe for your passengers. We've went ahead and covered the smart floor with the Lawn Seal coin floor, and this is the silicone gray, which looks amazing in this color of van. I really like the coin floor still. I know it's been around for a long time, but just the fact that it is durable, it doesn't show any imperfections, and when it gets a little bit dirty, we've gone with the coin floor with the flecks in it, which are these little speckles. It doesn't look extremely dirty when you get a little bit of wear and tear on it. So after the floor, we have a full Adventure Wagon kit that is from front to back, top to bottom, all of the walls, ceiling, and trims to finish out the van. This one looks really cool. They've gone with the black hex pattern on the bottom level of the van, and that is, it's really nice because it's stylish, durable. If you're gonna have kids in and out of here and moving bags around, it's nice to have a durable material there. And then from the mid, the upper, and the ceiling, it is the wrapped fabric, the tweed material. So all in all, it gives a super clean, finished look, and it's a good way to get all of that interior work done simply for kind of a known cost, as opposed to doing it custom, which can often come out with a nice look, but there's a lot of labor that goes into that, and it's hard to know what that's actually going to cost if you're building out a van like this. So let's take a little bit closer look at the Adventure Wagon kit. A couple more things that we've added: an S-bar heater. The controller is here. The heat actually comes out from underneath the passenger seat. We have one of the headliner shelves, the higher version, so there's a bunch of storage up here. We have also done one very special thing to this van, which is put in a killer sound system. So if you know Sprinter vans, you know that the sound system that they put in it that comes off the lot is pretty much terrible. It's about as bad as you can get. So we have put in a sound system that replaces all of the front speakers. We have added an amplifier and a DSP to the power system. So it's an amplified system, and then we have an 8-inch subwoofer in a box, and I can tell you that this van has amazing sound in it. It wasn't that expensive of an upgrade, so it's something that if you guys are getting a Sprinter, you should consider. And it's good to know on the front end if you're gonna get an audio system, because there's a lot of wiring that has to happen. For instance, even though we've replaced all the speakers up front, there are 2 speakers in the rear door that need to be wired in. A couple more things up here. We have a MaxxAir fan up front. And then in the center, we have a Nomadic 3000 air conditioner. You have good ventilation in this van, as well as the air conditioning, which will keep you cool if you're in bed, and the passengers in the back who don't get a lot of air conditioning from the front while you're driving, you can also run that and it will keep everything cool. All of the Adventure Wagon kits come with outlets that are spaced throughout the van. So we have a couple up here in the front. We've also added a 110 outlet from our power system inverter, and there are USBs placed all over the van. So this is great. When you're driving along, especially when you have passengers, they're gonna wanna plug things in. And really with this kit, it feels like everybody has their own power supply. A couple more components of the Adventure Wagon kit. We put in 2 of the large mule bags here, and these things are pretty massive. Once you start stuffing things in there, you'll realize how much space each of these really has to hold your goods. We also have the Moab bed and the mattress that comes with the kit. So you have a full sleeping system. The Moab bed is 3 panels, which are removable. So if you want to make this completely open, it just takes a few minutes. Find a spot for your mattress and your panels, and then this can be completely open in the back, whether you want to use that for seating or for hauling something. It is configurable so that you have the space available when you need it. We have put 2 of the bunk windows in the back next to the bed, and those are finished out with the flatline bunk window trim. So all of these together give a really nice finished look. So it all looks very finished out. So the water and power system are housed inside some of these Lost Highway fender boxes. And since this is a 170 van, and they do want to have some of their family members sleeping on this part, we went with the 72-inch boxes. So north to south, you get a really comfortable sleeping platform. And that happens when we add the 2 panels in that go across the boxes to span between here and there. So those aren't in here right now, but you can imagine if you put 2 platforms in, then you have a full sleeping platform as well as the one above. So really great. I think, 5 to 6 people could sleep in here. So we have the power system over here in this side. So the guys in the shop did a really nice job installing this. It's a pretty complex power system because it has a bit of everything, but we have 600 amp hours of lithium storage, all of the Victron, Lynx BMS and Lynx distributor, solar charge controller. We've done the Serbo GX with the display, so the client's able to see what's going on with the power system right from the display. And then also all the Victron is, you're able to connect to each of these pieces of equipment through an app on your phone. So whether it comes to programming it or just seeing like what's going on, every piece of equipment except the inverter here can be connected via the Bluetooth. We also have a wake speed controller for the alternator, and that connects up to the Lynx BMS. And then since we did have plenty of space here in the Lost Highway box, we've also put the amplifier and the DSP for the sound system in the same area. So this is all electronics in this side. And you wouldn't really want to store anything in here per se, so just to be aware of that. When you have this much power equipment in here, it needs to breathe, and then of course putting anything in here like a lawn chair or anything that's metal would be a no-no. Okay, so the water system is over here in this fender box, and you're able to access the outdoor shower right here, also the water system pump and the water heater. This is a switch to switch between the 2 tanks that are in the van. So generally, if you want to roll out to do a ski trip or something, you really only want to keep water on the inside box because all this needs to be kept warm. But when you do have warmer weather, long trip, we also have another tank that's 20 gallons in the spare tire carrier. So you can fill that one also and switch to it as needed. So again, 40 gallons of storage is really generous for a van like this. That is the inside. Let's take a tour of the outside and see what we've put on the van here. First of all, an upgrade of the rims and tires. These are Black Rhino Arsenals with the Nitto Ridge Grapplers. These are really cool tires, pretty aggressive, but the word is that they are good on the road and especially good off-road. So kind of a nice combo tire if you're gonna be on-road and off-road, which most people are who have Sprinters. So we have an ARB air compressor system mounted under the hood, and we went ahead and ran a port here so that you can connect the air hose right from the back in case you need to air up the tires, or even if you want to do some cleaning in the back, you've got one connection point there. And then with pretty much all of our water systems, we have the inlet adapter right here on the outside of the van. So as you're filling the tanks, and inevitably there's going to be spillage and water kind of leaking out all over the place, this is a great place to have it so you don't have to worry about any of that inside the van. Coming around here, again, the rims and tires have been upgraded. Something to note on the ridge grapplers is that since they have such an aggressive tread, this mud flap is too close and we're gonna have to open this up. So just be aware of that. If you're gonna go 17-inch rims and tires, not all of them get this close, but when the guys put these ones on, it was pretty obvious that this wheel well is going to need to be opened up. We also have a Van Compass 4.3 suspension kit on this. It's riding really nicely. It's not a very heavy van with the way that it's been built out, even though it has pretty much everything. Since there's not a lot of cabinetry in here, it really doesn't weigh all that much. Underneath, for hot water, we have the incline water heater. So that's a 4-gallon water heater that runs off of the engine. So anytime the vehicle is started up, after 30 minutes, there's gonna be hot water on board. We also have added a 47-gallon fuel tank, which is a very popular upgrade. People really like it because the fuel tank on the Sprinters, especially for the 170, the 24 gallons, is generally not enough to get you all the way up there on your trip and back without having to worry about fuel. The 47-gallon fuel tank is a great upgrade. On the roof, we have an aluminous roof rack with a Fiamma awning, and we have added the connection points for the awning right here on the side of the van. That's a really nice feature to have because then you can open up the awning, connect the legs back here, and you don't have to worry if it gets a little bit windy, as opposed to having the legs going down into the ground where they're easier to kind of get taken out if a big wind comes by. So this is a really sturdy way to have the awning out when it's windy. Okay, moving right along. Just one more thing to mention here. We did put one of the connection points for the air compressor also right here. So you have one in the front, one in the back, and then you can actually open the hood and get to a third connection point there. For people who especially are gonna air down their tires if they're off-road, this is gonna make that a whole lot easier to air them back up because you have the points of attachment in the front and the back. Up on the roof rack, we have 2 Zamp solar panels. We're using the Zamp Obsidian solar panels, which are really great, lightweight and high efficiency. We also have the antenna for the WeBoost and cutouts for the fan and the air conditioner. So even with all that up there, there's still a little bit of space for the clients to get up and catch a sunset or just have fun on the roof rack. That's a quick tour of the latest van we finished. So if you guys have a family and you're looking to have a van built, these are a bunch of good products that you should be considering putting in. As always, if you have questions about your build, feel free, you can reach out to us. We can schedule a call and go over all the details. And thanks so much for watching, you guys, and we will see you again next time.